Hey there guys, this is Richard, your host, with another marvelous video. This video is for all the Power Rangers fans out there, because it delves pretty deep into Power Rangers lore. Most of us have grown up watching Power Rangers on the television and have a deep connection to these colourful, crime-fighting ninjas. In fact, it was always entertaining to watch them transform into the gigantic robots called Zords in the show. However, while Zords were formidable enough by themselves, watching them transform into the Megazords was a whole new ballgame. This video will give you a complete rundown of all the different Megazords that exist in the Power Rangers universe, and trust me, super cool. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. What are Megazords? As we know already, Zords are the massive battle robots each Power Ranger was capable of transforming into. Considering that Mega is used to denote something very large, the Megazords are exactly that. Gigantic Zords made from combining the personal Zords of all the Power Rangers on the team. The Megazords looked insanely cool and were shown to be like gigantic battle robots, kind of like the Transformers if you think about it. Megazords were initially a combination of every main squad Ranger's personal Zord. However, since the release of Power Rangers in Space, Megazords have had the ability to change into humanoid battle forms using either a single Zord or a combination of Zords from different Rangers. Most Megazords have the ability to conjure a sword or other non-component Zord weapon after forming to use in battle. To create even more formidable combat machines, many Megazords can be combined with other Zords and even other Megazords. The first Megazord constructed by combining two Megazords was called the Astro Megazord. Without any further ado, let's dive straight into our expansive list of Megazords that the Power Rangers franchise has to offer. The original Megazord. It only makes sense to start with the original Megazord, the first ever Megazord to feature in Power Rangers. The original Megazord, otherwise known as the Dino Megazord, is a gigantic combination of the 5 Dinozords: Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus, Saber-toothed Tiger, Pterodactyl, and Mastodon. The Red Ranger's chair is the command console for this Megazord. However, the other Rangers also command other weapons such as the iconic cranial laser used to destroy targets and a super cool mammoth shield. This Megazord also wields the Power Sword. This Megazord further has 2 modes, Tank Mode and Battle Mode. In Megazord Tank Mode, the Triceratops and Saber-toothed Tiger Dinozords serve as the wheels, while the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord serves as the main component. While the Pterodactyl Dinozord mounts on the rear, the Mastodon Dinozord forms the cannons. The Megazord transforms from its Tank Mode configuration into a standing position in Battle Mode, with the cannons serving as the arms and the treads as the legs. While the Tyrannosaurus's head lowers to show its head, the Pterodactyl Dinozord moves to the chest. Lastly, the Mastodon Dinozord's cannons move to its rear after the tail of the Tyrannosaurus folds into position. Although this formation was impressively shielded and well armed, its usefulness was limited, particularly when fighting against agile, moving targets. As far as the design of this robot goes, one leg is yellow and the other is blue, and the main body is red. The large shoulders of the Dino Megazord bear the letter M, and it also has red horns on either side of its head. The Dino Megazord was often used by the Power Rangers to fight Rita Repulsa. Mega Dragonzord. The Zord associated with the green Mighty Morphin power coin is the Dragonzord. It was, at various different times, controlled by Tommy Oliver, the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger, Jason Lee Scott, the Red Ranger, Tommy's clone, Tom Oliver, and a number of villains due to its distinctive design and controls. This dinosaur-looking Zord, as its name suggests, when combined with the original Megazord, forms the Mega Dragonzord, a badass battle weapon. The Megazord's finger cannons become shoulder cannons as the Dragonzord transforms into a type of armor that sits atop the entire Megazord in this configuration. It essentially enhanced the original Megazord, and the main transformation can be seen near the shoulders and head of the Megazord. Its main attack consisted of an energy sphere attack, produced by the Dragonzord symbols next to the arms and the Megazord's chest plate. This attack was highly dangerous and was able to completely destroy villains and enemies. It could also fire a reduced 3-beamed attack where blue beams were fired from the sides and a yellow beam was fired from the chest plate. In the Japanese version, the gigantic Megazord is also referred to as the Super Dino Megazord, Dino Mega Dragonzord, or Ultrazord. Additionally, the Mega Dragonzord could also ride on the Titanus and change into the Dino Ultrazord. This Megazord appeared extensively in the first season of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and showcased its amazing attack abilities. Thunder Megazord. The Red Dragon, Lion, Unicorn, Griffin, and Firebird Thunderzords could be combined to form the Thunder Megazord, the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger's second primary Megazord. In this formation, the other 4 Zords serve as protection for the Red Dragon Thunderzord, which is the center of the Thunder Megazord. The boots, fold, and cuirass of the Thunder Megazord are made up of the Unicorn and Griffin Thunderzords, the Firebird Thunderzord, and the Lion Thunderzord, respectively. One of the standout features of this Megazord is a big emerald orb on the Thunder Megazord's chest, and this is where the Rangers controlled it from. The Thunderzords, which were developed from the initial Dinozords, were much more powerful than their earlier incarnations, making this one a strong Megazord. Most notably, the Thunder Megazord often finished the monster with a powerful slash using its blade, the Thunder Saber, which would power up before delivering the final blow. This Megazord's predecessor had a sword that fell from the heavens, but the Thunder Megazord's sword was kept in a scabbard around its waist, presumably for easy access. The Thunder Megazord also had a unique ability when it came to the sword, and this was seen when Trumpet Top took the Thunder Saber and used it against the formation. This Megazord has the ability to charge up and shock a monster if it steals the sword. The Thunder Megazord also had a weapon-like ability to blow mist from its limbs. The Thunder Megazord thus has electricity and shock-related powers, justifying its name, and has often been used successfully against villains like Parantis Head. Ninja Megazord. The bear, crane, wolf, frog, and ape ninja Zords combined to form the Ninja Megazord. Instead of using force, these Zords employed the tact and skill of the ninja, which also translated over into the Ninja Megazord itself. With regards to its transformation, the yellow bear served as the torso, and the black frog served as its legs. The head was formed by the pink crane, while the left and right arms were created by the blue wolf and red ape, respectively. With its power gloves, it's able to deliver punches with tremendous force. Its primary advantage is speed, and it's much more nimble than previous Megazords. However, being without fingers, it was unable to hold anything. When it came to its secondary mode and Ultrazord mode, the Ninja Megazord was one of the easiest Zords to transform into. Ninja Megazord is a Plex creation, and the design choices marry brilliantly. The vented headgear and barefoot, almost sandal-like foot design are the most obvious examples of its design inspiration from lightly armored ninjas. Additionally, it makes use of add-on pieces that mimic the fist and closed palm, 2 fundamental hand strike styles. While the crane has an appearance reminiscent of origami paper cranes, the frog, wolf, and bear have simple, streamlined designs that resemble ancient Japanese art. On the other hand, the red ape is a closer analogy to the mythical Monkey King. In Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 3, the Ninja Megazord was extensively employed by the Rangers to fight off villains like Rito Revolto. Ninja Mega Falcon Zord. Having spoken about the Ninja Megazord, the Ninja Falcon Zord is simply a flight upgrade on it. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were given new Zords that harness the strength of their ninjetti animal energies after they successfully recovered the great power from Phaedos. The Ninja Falcon Megazord, a flying Ninja Zord, could be created by combining the bear, crane, wolf, frog, and ape Ninja Zords with the Falcon Ninja Zord. This gave the original Ninja Zord a pair of glorious white and yellow wings. This Megazord featured in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, and towers over the Ninja Megazord at a massive height of 87 meters. Mega Tigerzord. The White Tigerzord and the Thunderzord Assault Team, which included the Lion, Firebird, Unicorn, and Griffin Thunderzords, merged together to form the Mega Tigerzord. The White Tigerzord was Tommy's second Zord altogether, and the first Zord used by White in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. In terms of its transformation and ultimate appearance, the Unicorn served as the right leg, the Griffin as the left leg, the Lion as the shoulder pads and back, and the Firebird as the right arm armor with its tail acting as a claw. It was able to throw strikes strong enough to knock AC and DC back into Nimrod. Its main finishing move involved lighting the target on fire and firing the Firebird Thunderzord on his right arm in its direction before flying through a simulated grid and ramming the enemy with enough force to completely finish them off. This was effective enough in the episode White Light to eliminate Nimrod, AC, and DC all at once. In fact, the Mega Tigerzord was incredibly strong and may even be stronger than the Thunder Megazord in terms of raw combat ability, as evidenced by the ease with which it destroyed Nimrod after the latter was vanquished. Nimrod, Cannon Top, and Needle Nose were the 3 creatures that it killed during its 4 uses. The only monster to vanquish it was Forehead, who was ultimately destroyed by the Thunder Ultrazord. Shogun Megazord. The merging of the 5 ancient Zords, known as Shogunzords, creates the Shogun Megazord. The Shogunzords were fabled lost Zords that were discovered in the planet Zordina by Babu, Squat, and Finster, so that Lord Zed could use them to attack Earth. But when Billy was able to acquire control over them, Zed was overthrown and the Power Rangers got their hands on the Shogunzords. The Shogunzords are white, black, red, yellow, and blue. In this Megazord transformation, the red Shogunzord serves as the primary body and head, and the sporran of the red Shogunzord elevates to create a larger chest piece. Its feet transform into hips as its legs curve upward. The limbs are made up of the blue and white Shogunzords, whose shoulders are hunched up over their heads. All of the yellow and black Shogunzords' body sections are contracted to create their legs, and their heads plug into Red's underside. The Shogun Megazord is bulky and strong in comparison to the Ninja Megazord, which is quick and nimble. As a result, it's quite slow as an attack weapon. However, despite being highly armored, it's still quite functional. As far as weapons go, with a fiery slash using the fiery saber, which is its primary weapon, the Shogun Megazord absolutely obliterates opponents. Coming to its design, its structure is modeled after traditional Japanese forts and historic shoguns. Its helmet is of the same paper crane design as the Ninja Megazord. Shachihoko gargoyles, an ancient Chinese legendary beast with the head of a tiger and the body of a monstrous spiky fish, are affixed to its shoulders and the fire saber. The word shinobi is written in kanji on the breastplate of the Shogun Megazord. Further, the S insignia on the belt and shield of the red Shogunzord probably stands for Sun Wukong, also known as the fabled Monkey King. All in all, this one is a unique Megazord that appeared mainly in Season 3 of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Zeo Megazord. The 5 Zeo Zords combined to form the Zeo Megazord. The Power Rangers Zeo's first group of Zords were the Zeo Zords. These new Zords, created by Billy Cranston and Alpha 5, were inspired by objects and figures from primordial Earth mythology. It was stated that they were built from old Zords, mostly like the Titanus, White Tiger, Dragon, and Dino Megazord components. The Zeo Megazord is a rather unique Megazord because, depending on the helmet it's wearing, the Zeo Megazord can switch between various modes. These abilities are conferred by the 5 different helmets. Battle Helmet Zeo 1. Cannon Mode. A sizable cannon on its helmet fires potent energy blasts, additionally able to rotate and summon a pink cyclone to attack monsters. The Zeo 2 Battle Helmet's Rocket Mode. This one features 2 side-mounted laser cannons that fire quick and deadly projectiles. Additionally, they can also serve as space launch boosters. The Megazord could use a powerful kick strike thanks to the helmet. Pyramid Mode. The Zeo 3 Battle Helmet granted the Megazord telekinesis. It could lift up and reportedly slam machine monsters into the earth using a blue beam. Moreover, it was also equipped with a blue laser. Gravity Mode Zeo 4 Battle Helmet, equipped with a set of long horns. This helmet was used to batter foes into submission. Additionally, the Megazord could also be surrounded by gravity barriers that can be neutralized. It's also capable of firing green lightning projectiles. Zeo 5 Battle Headgear Warrior Helmet. Last but not least, this one is the default headgear in Warrior Mode. To call forth the Zeo Megazord Saber, the Rangers mainly use this. The Zeo Megazord Saber, which could be charged for an energy strike, was its signature weapon. Zeo Mega Battlezord. The merging of the Red Battlezord and the Zeo Megazord forms the Zeo Mega Battlezord. The Red Battlezord is in itself quite interesting and was designed for Tommy by Billy, making the Zeo Mega Battlezord Tommy's personal Megazord. The Red Battlezord was entirely under Tommy's control thanks to a mental uplink that was modeled after the Aquatarian symbiosis interface. The Zord's main flaw was that it could act erratically when Tommy's focus wasn't entirely on the fight or was otherwise clouded by stress. This flaw also extended to the Zeo Mega Battlezord. In the transformation, the Zeo Megazord and Red Battlezord are seen standing back to back, with the Battlezord getting taller to match the Zeo Megazord. The final height of the Zeo Mega Battlezord comes up to a whopping 80 meters, making it tower over its enemies. Further, its head transforms into a different helmet, and its limbs turn into prominent red shoulder cannons for the Megazord. This one is a solid transformation, and the main colors we see on the Megazord are blue and red. As far as combat and weaponry is concerned, this Zeo Mega Battlezord fires strong energy blasts as a finisher from its shoulder cannons. It was initially used against the villain called Mace Face. The Zeo Mega Battlezord, despite being quite powerful at a distance, loses most of its mobility as a result of its combination of Zords and doesn't seem to be able to engage in close quarter battle. Tommy also needs to maintain mental calmness in order to start the combination sequence, because otherwise, any effort to create the Zeo Mega Battlezord would fail due to his mental connection to the Red Battlezord. As you can already tell by the name, this Megazord was mainly featured in the Power Rangers Zeo series. Turbo Megazord. The Turbo Megazord serves as the Turbo Ranger's primary Megazord in Power Rangers Turbo. The Turbo Megazord was created by combining the 5 Turbozords: Dune Star Turbozord, Wind Chaser Turbozord, Mountain Blaster Turbozord, Desert Thunder Turbozord, and Red Lightning Turbozord, all vehicles piloted by the respective Rangers. The Turbo Megazord, according to Zordon, was the strongest Zord ever made at the time. Its main weapon, the Turbo Megazord Saber, was used in the Turbo Megazord Spin-Out, the closing maneuver. This involved the Megazord charging at its adversary at a high rate of speed before spinning out and turning cyclonically. The spinning Megazord Saber would slash through the adversary as it went by, delivering enough energy to blow up the target and destroy it. The Turbo Headlight Blaster is its backup weapon, and it fires a powerful energy blast using the lights from Mountain Blaster's chest plate. Powered and non-powered kicks are also among its arsenal of additional assaults. A big shield in the shape of a tire was also used. Another attack strategy of this particular Megazord involved using the Rescue Megazord in tandem with the artillery power, in which case each Megazord would use a weapon supplied by Artillotron. Lastly, another attack tactic featured the Turbo Megazord slicing the energy beams fired from the artillery power with its saber as a combo attack. The Turbo Megazord can be seen in Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, and in the Power Rangers Turbo series. Super Zeo Megazord. One of the Zeo Power Rangers combat mecha is called the Super Zeo Megazord. It's one of the Power Rangers' most potent weaponry and serves as an auxiliary Megazord. The Super Zeo Megazord is created by combining all the Super Zeo Zords and also features a repurposed part from an unidentified previous Megazord. The Super Zeo Zords could be used thanks to the Super Zeo Gems Trey gave. They look like humanoid robots and are capable of flying, submersion, and even interplanetary travel. They have an emblem on their torsos from which they could discharge energy blasts. Each Zord also has a gigantic model of the firearm that each Ranger wielded. Coming to the Super Zeo Megazord transformation, the feet, arms, head, and shoulders were made by Super Zeo Zord 1, the waist and upper legs by Super Zeo Zord 3, the lower legs by Super Zeo Zord 4, and the chest by Super Zeo Zord 5. Considering that each Super Zeo Zord is equivalent to a Megazord in terms of bulk and power because they're far stronger than the regular Zeo Zords, this Megazord is an absolute monster. The Super Zeo Megazord was approximately twice as tall as a Megazord-sized monster, and in battle, it typically defeated monsters by a wide margin. It also had the coolest weapon, the Megazord's twin sabers, which, when combined into a massive energy blade which was easily the height of a skyscraper, could vanquish even the insanely powerful King Mondo. The Megazord used this particular finisher to attack its foes and was mainly seen in Power Rangers Zeo. Astro Megazord. Now let's look at Astro Megazord, a giant purple Zord which first appeared in the episode From Out of Nowhere, Part 2. It's 55 meters tall and looks like a purple samurai. It has really cool red accents and a giant M in the middle of its chest as well. It was equipped with the Astro Megazord Blaster, which was a converted version of the Mega Shuttle's booster sled, the Astro Megazord Shield, which was often connected to the underbelly of the Megaship when not in use, and the Astro Megazord Saber, which had numerous attacks. It may be charged with energy and utilized to strike the adversary with a variety of boosted slashes. They may fire the Astro Megazord Saber into the shoulder of a monster, energizing it and destroying them. It also has 2 unnamed finishes. The first and the most commonly used one is the Astro Megazord Saber, which has yellow pixelated energy and can unleash a devastating energy slash. The second finisher charges the Astro Megazord Blaster to maximum power and unleashes a spiral blast out of its barrel. This blast is so strong that it can obliterate the monsters. Now, that's one cool Megazord. Astro Delta Megazord. The Astro Delta Megazord is an upgrade of the Astro and Delta Megazords. The 2 Megazords combine to form the Astro Delta Megazord, which is a giant 65-meter Zord. This Zord borrows its look from the Astro Megalord. It looks like a robotic samurai with purple, red, and black accents. There are gyro blasters installed on the shoulders of the Delta Megazord that served as its primary weapon in this form. Andros had to click the first button on his battleizer to trigger its finishing technique, the Flying Power Punch, which allowed it to fire its fists in the air for deadly missile assaults. A more potent finisher, though it was only ever used once, has the ability to produce an energy cyclone or tornado similar to a finisher. This finisher was used as their final weapon to defeat Super Darkonda, but it failed because it only wounded him rather than killed him, which meant he had enough damage to produce Mutantros. This combo was originally employed in the episode titled The Great Evilizer, as Astronomer transformed the Delta Megazord into an evil entity. The Rangers forcefully combined the Delta Megazord with the Astro Megazord in an effort to make it good, hoping that this would interact Astronomer's evil programming. The Delta Megazord attempted to break free during this initial combo, making things a little tough, but it eventually succeeded, and the Rangers regained possession of the Delta Megazord. This combination might then be created at will. However, it stopped being used after the Rangers got hold of the stronger Zord, the Mega Voyager. Ultimately, after the destruction of the Delta Megazord, the Astro Delta Megazord went out of commission. Rescue Megazord. The Rescue Megazord is the second and the last set of Zord formations for the Turbo Rangers formed by the Rescue Zords. It stands 60 meters tall. When not in use, the Rescue Zords are carried inside the Artillotron, and all of them have a robot form called High Stance Mode. The Megazord is a mix of the Lightning Fire Tamer, Siren Blaster, Thunder Loader, Star Racer, and Wind Rescue Zords. The Lightning Fire Tamer forms the head, upper torso, and chest portion of the Megazord. It's a large red fire truck and is capable of firing blasts of water. It turns into a firefighter in its robot form and is usually driven by Theodore Johnson. The Siren Blaster Rescue Zord forms the lower torso, thighs, and upper legs. It's a blue police car Zord which turns into a police officer capable of firing sonic blasts in its robot form. It's usually driven by Justin Stewart. The Rescue Zord forming the lower right leg is the Thunder Loader. It's a green dump truck capable of releasing iron balls. Its robot form is a construction worker who's piloted by Carlos Valerte. The Star Racer Rescue Zord forms the lower left leg and is run by Ashley Hammond. It's a yellow Formula race car with a bulldozer component. And last but not least, we have the Wind Rescue Zord that forms the arms of the Megazord. It's a pink ambulance operated by Cassie Chan, the pink Turbo Ranger. It has the ability to launch giant syringes at its attackers, and its robot form is a nurse. Mega Voyager. The Mega Voyager is the most powerful Megazord in space. It's made of 5 Mega vehicles. The Mega V1, which forms the thighs and lower torso of the Megazord. Mega V2, which acts as the shield and head. Mega V3, which is the primary weapon, forms the legs and upper torso. Mega V4 makes up the arms and the chest plate, while the Mega V5 forms the Megazord's feet. It first appeared in the episode titled The Ranger's Mega Voyage, and was last seen in the episode A Line in the Sand. It's a 70-meter tall Megazord, making it one of the tallest Megazords. It boasts a huge armory of weapons, including the Astro Megazord saber. However, this was only utilized against the body switcher. It also has a pair of 4 Mega laser guns mounted on its chest plating. Nevertheless, its main weapon was the Mega V3 Mega vehicle, which it used in Mega V3 missile mode for its final assault. Although being powerful in and of itself, it was revealed to be weaker than the majority of the Psycho Rangers. The Megazord has only ever failed to kill one monster, the Tankenstein, but they did manage to kill it with its own lance. However, in the process, the Megazord got destroyed as well as the villain, and took the Rangers into the sky with itself and self-detonated to try and kill them with it. Quite interesting, eh? Galaxy Megazord. The Galaxy Megazord is a 50-meter tall Megazord which is a combination of the original 5 Galacta-Beasts, who became Galactazords through the power of trans-daggers. It's made of the Lion Galacta-Beast, which forms the head and torso, Condor Galacta-Beast, which creates the Megazord's waistline and can also turn into missile mode, Gorilla Galacta-Beast, which forms the hips and legs, Wolf Galacta-Beast creates the right arm, and the Wildcat Galacta-Beast creates the left arm. Interestingly, the Galaxy Megazord is the first sentient Megazord of the franchise, as it retains the feel of the individual Galacta Beasts. The Galacta Beasts communicate with the Power Rangers through feelings, allowing the Galacta Beasts to use their heart. The Galaxy Megazord Saber is the default weapon of the Galaxy Megazord. It could charge up with white energy to deliver a quadruple energy slash. This slash was strong enough to defeat Rocketron and destroy Gasser. In Condor Galactazord missile mode, the Condor Galactazord's body, head, and wings split from its legs to form a ranged weapon in the style of an energy crossbow. This was the Megazord's main finishing maneuver, in which he could call the weapon, fill the open beak of the Condor Galactazord with green energy, and then fire a bolt to impale and destroy the creature. The Megazord is also capable of firing small blasts of energy. This Megazord first appeared in the episode titled Homesick. Super Train Megazord. The Super Train Megazord is a super cool Megazord made up of various rail rescue Zords. It's the second of the Lightspeed Rangers Megazords from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. It first appeared in Lightspeed Teamwork and is 80 meters tall, making it a lot bigger than other Megazords. Rail Rescue 1, which is a locomotive, and Rail Rescue 2, which is a subway car, form the arms and shoulders of the Megazord and store the weapons, while Rail Rescue 3, a freighter, forms its upper legs, torso, and head. Rail Rescue 4 is a coach car, and it forms the left leg, while Rail Rescue 5 is a bullet train that acts as its right leg. Sadly, the Super Train frequently overloaded itself because of the enormous output required to power the Zords once the Megazord was constructed, and would often lead to the Rangers being hurt from within the cockpit. The Megazord nearly tore itself apart in the first combat, overloaded twice with its armaments. The Super Train Megazord, built from the front sections of Rail Rescues 1 and 2, had 2 weapons at its disposal: a train, head-shaped and turbine-like gun stored on the left shoulder or transferred for use on the left arm, and a shoulder-mounted missile launcher that could fire ice ice missiles cold enough to freeze volcanoes, as well as a salvo of missiles and energy blasts powerful enough to destroy buildings. When certain subsequent monsters were made even larger using Jinx's special growth cards to confront it, the Megazord was nearly twice as tall as its foes. Its finisher, the Turbine Supercharge, charges its energy-charged, train-head-shaped armaments before forcing them into battle with energy blasts from Rail Rescue 1's trainhead and dispatching them with a torrent of missiles from Rail Rescue 2's trainhead. Despite its enormous size, the Megazord doesn't look that scary, but looks can be deceiving, and this heavy-duty Megazord is a testament to that. Lightspeed Megazord. The main Megazord of the Lightspeed Rangers is the Lightspeed Megazord, and it can be seen in Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. It first appeared in Lightspeed Teamwork and it's 55 meters tall. It's made up of 5 Zords: the Pyro Rescue 1, Aqua Rescue 2, Aero Rescue 3, Haz Rescue 4, and the Med Rescue 5. The Pyro Rescue 1 is a red fire truck which forms the arms and upper torso of the Megazord. It has ladder-like arms that manipulate objects and deploy stabilizers from its rear and front bumper. The Aqua Rescue 2 is the hips and upper leg of the Lightspeed Megazord. It's a blue water tanker that can spray water jets. The Aero Rescue 3 is a green jet Zord. It forms the head and upper back of the Megazord and can fire compressed jets and water bombs. It's also capable of lifting other Zords, vehicles, and objects into the air. The Haz Rescue 4 is a yellow-colored hazmat truck, which acts as the lower left leg of the Megazord. It uses its rear grab claw to lift objects, but it also doubles as a weapon. The Med Rescue 5 is a pink ambulance capable of carrying a number of vehicles in its back hatch and driving through dangerous roads. It forms the lower right leg of the Megazord. It's a cool and bulky Megazord that uses the fire circle and the power thrust as its attacks. The fire circle uses a saber while the power thrust uses spray cannons, Lightspeed ladder arms, as well as an overhead kick where the ladder arms act like stabilizers. Time Force Megazord. The Time Force Megazord is formed using 5 Time Flyer Zords. The Time Flyer 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It has 3 modes: the red, blue, and jet mode. It first appeared in the episode Something to Fight For. The jet mode is a large aircraft that uses the cyclone defense in which it spins into giant circles to generate high winds and form a tornado. This stuns the monsters, allowing the aircraft to fly through it while firing lasers. However, it's never been strong enough to kill a monster, which is why the Megazord almost always has to switch to blue or red mode. This mode gives the Power Rangers the ability to travel through time. The red mode is the most commonly used mode and is optimized for power. In this, the green and blue flyers become the legs, pink and yellow form the arms, and red forms the body. It uses the Time Force Megazord Saber, which can freeze its enemies. Its finisher formation is the Time Strike. The blue mode is optimized for speed and uses the Time Jet Blaster mode. The formation of the Zords changes in this mode, with the yellow and pink forming the legs and green and blue forming the arms. The finishing move in this mode is known as the Time Blast, in which the Power Rangers call upon the Time Jet and turn it into gun mode. It blasts barrels of blue energy and can kill the enemy on contact. It's the only Megazord that the Power Rangers pilot themselves. There are 3 more Megazords that they use, but they don't need piloting. They can either be controlled through a remote or function independently.
Destiny has brought 5 young people together, and now they set out on their wild adventure.
Wild Force Megazord. The Wild Force Megazord is a combination of the Red Line Wild Zord, Yellow Eagle Wild Zord, Blue Shark Wild Zord, Black Bison Wild Zord, and the White Tiger Wild Zord. The Wild Force Megazord was unveiled when the Rangers had to battle the Barbed Wire Org. The Rangers raised their crystal sabers to the sky and said, "Wild Zords down!" as the Wild Zords descended an energy strip from the Animarium to the earth below. The lion forms the main torso, while the shark and white tiger form the arms of the Megazord. The eagle becomes the Megazord's head, and the bison extends itself to form the Megazord's legs. This Megazord often uses punches dubbed Shark Surge and Tiger Fury, but it may also employ a sword called the Fin Blade that's made from the Shark Zord's fin. The Megazord is capable of performing the Wild Force Mega Roar finisher, which releases a combined multicolored energy blast from the whole Megazord superstructure, with a silhouette of every individual Wild Zord enclosed within the assault, and will smash through and destroy the Org. Later, when the Soul Bird replaces the cockpit, this is renamed to the Soul Bird Cannon, or just the Soul Cannon. The revised cockpit configuration also added a brand new ending maneuver called Soul Bird Cannon, which replaced the Mega Roar with an energy blast launched from the Soul Bird's mouth and emanating from the mouths of every Zord composing the Megazord. The Megazord has various modes like the Sword and Shield, where it uses the Elephant Zord to create the sword and shield. It also has a Giraffe mode, where the Giraffe Zord's head turns into a spear. The Double Knuckle mode came into existence after the Black and Polar Bear Wild Zords were introduced. The finisher used in this mode is called Bear Blasters, which shoots a blast of fire and ice. The Striker mode uses the Rhino and Armadillo Wild Zords, which can unleash the final strike, where the Megazord separates the armadillo from its body and kicks it like a soccer ball. It strikes with huge force and destroys the enemies. It also has a Predator mode, Predator Spear mode, Clutcher mode, Spear and Shield mode, and Spear and Knuckle mode. Thundersaurus Megazord. The Thundersaurus Megazord is the primary Megazord of the Dino Thunder Rangers, as seen in Power Rangers Dino Thunder. It's not as tall as the other Megazords and stands 46 meters tall, but it can pack quite the punch despite its size. It represents the Dino Rangers for the Dino Thunder Dino Charger. The base Megazord doesn't get replaced in the Thundersaurus Megazord, but its arms can be replaced by other Zords. It's made up of the Tyrannosaurus, Tricerazord, and the Pterazord. The Tyrannosaurus is a red T-Rex that's controlled by the red Dino Ranger. It forms the majority of the body of the Megazord, including the left arm, legs, and head of the Megazord. The Tricerazord is a blue Triceratops Zord controlled by the blue Dino Ranger, and it forms the right arm of the Megazord. The yellow Dino Ranger controls the Pterazord, which is a yellow Pteranodon Zord. It forms the chest armor and helmet of the Megazord. The Megazord could use the Tricerafist and Terrorang, which involved punching with the Triceratops head on its right arm and using its pterodactyl chest armor as a thrown projectile weapon when assembled from its primary individual Zord components. It can also use the detachable Tyrannotail on its left arm as a seismic receiver device, a drill, and a spear weapon. A blazing emergency assault might be launched from the Tyranno head on its chest. The Megazord's last assault, the Dino Drill, included charging at the target while the Tyranno tail spun while plowing straight through the foe. A super cool thing about the Megazord is that it can be transformed without the Pterazord, making the Thundersaurus Megazord incomplete. Another formation of the Megazord is the Thundersaurus Megazord Cephala Power Punch. This is a combination of the Tyrannosaurus, Pterazord, and the Cephalazord. In this formation, the Cephalazord takes the position of the Triceratops as the right arm. The Thundersaurus Megazord Dimetro Saw Blade is made of Tricerazord, Tyrannosaurus, Pterazord, and the Dimetrazord. This allows the Megazord to use Dimetrazord's saw blade as a weapon. There's also a combination known as the Thundersaurus Megazord Stega Surfboard, which is basically the Thundersaurus Megazord on top of the Stegazord, using it like a surfboard. The Tyrannosaurus, Tricerazord, Pterazord, and Parasaurazord are combined to become the Thundersaurus Megazord Parasaur Final Cut to act as a pair of scissors. The Parasaurazord fastens to the left arm. The Tyrannosaurus, Pterazord, and Ankylozord come together to become the Thundersaurus Megazord Ankylo Drill. The Ankylozord connects to the right arm and is used to block blows and launch slash strikes of its own. The Tyrannosaurus, Pterazord, Ankylozord, and Parasaurusord are combined to become the Thundersaurus Megazord Ankylo Drill Parasaur Final Cut to block strikes and launch a slash attack. The Ankylozord fastens to the right arm to act as a pair of scissors. The Parasaurazord fastens to the left arm. Storm Megazord. In Power Rangers Ninja Storm, the Storm Megazord, also known as the Storm Power Megazord, is the Wind Rangers Megazord. The Storm Megazord is created when the Storm Ninja Zords, which include the Hawkzord, Dolinzord, and the Lionzord, merge together. The Storm Megazord is 100 feet tall and has the ability to call forth power spheres from its torso for use in combat. It can also use the Blizzard Flurry using the ripcord on the lion's head to release a fatal snow and ice wave. The Dolphin Blast using the ripcord on the dolphin to unlock an enormous wave of blue energy from around the dolphin's neck, and the Dolphin Laser, which has blue lasers emerging from the dolphin's eyes, strong enough to push the original Zerganazord back with merely 3 blasts. Unfortunately, an explosion obliterated the Storm Megazord. The Megazord has a number of finishes due to its numerous power spheres, but the triple strike, in which it summons the Serpent Sword and then divides into 3 identical clones of itself, one for each ranger, is the one that's most frequently used in battle. It was able to reduce the opponent into nothing but energy by charging the blade tip with yellow energy and slicing downward, which would cause the enemy to disintegrate. The other power spheres that Storm Megazord used are the Ram Hammer, Turtle Mace, Lion Laser, Squid Drill, Minizord, Ninja Scarf, Super Stamp, Star Blazer, and last but not least, the Ninja Firebird. All of the power spheres give the Storm Megazord a vast array of offensive and defensive options, which display immense power. Delta Squad Megazord. The main Space Patrol Delta Megazord, formed when all 5 Delta Runners, Delta Runner 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, come together, is called the Delta Squad Megazord. The head, main torso, and higher legs are created by Delta Runner 1. The arms are formed by Delta Runners 4 and 5, and the lower legs are created by Delta Runners 2 and 3. Its arsenal contains the Delta Blaster and Delta Sword. It also has a giant judgment scanner built into its left arm that decides whether a suspect is either innocent or guilty, and can only be turned on by a Delta Morpher. Additionally, it has shrink handcuffs that can be used to shrink opponents. It employs its blade for the Delta Power Strike and Blaster for firing energy. This Megazord drove the Omega Max cycle for the first time when it was fighting against Devastation in the Robot of Destruction. The Megazord was initially no match for it, but with the speed boost and full charge from riding the cycle-based Zord, it quickly destroyed its enemy. As a combined unit, it can also create the Delta Max Megazord. The Megazord used by the A Squad destroyed it, but since SPD is still a functioning agency after the Trubians' defeat, it might have been restored. Last but not least, the Megazord of the Delta Squad is shown, and the kanji for machine is written on a unique version of the Ninja Power Star that resembles the Delta Squad Megazord. This star was initially intended to be a toy in the Ninja Steel series, but it was never made available. This Megazord was largely seen in Power Rangers SPD. Titan Megazord. The Mystic Ranger's Megazord mode is the Titan Megazord. After Madison had been freed from a spell cast on her by the monster Clawster, the Titan Megazord's warrior mode and transformation was revealed in the episode Rock Solid. This Megazord was more than a match for Clawster, who was swiftly eliminated by the Titan Saber of the Megazord. When all 5 Rangers' Mystic Titan types, namely the Garuda, Sprite, Minotaur, Phoenix, and Mermaid, merged together to create the Titan Megazord, the Mystic Minotaur would constitute the main body. The Mermaid would divide into 2 halves, which would then form the Megazord's front legs and feet. The Garuda would turn into the rear wings, and the Phoenix and Sprite would grow into the chest, with the Sprite linking in between the Phoenix's arms. The Mystic Minotaur's horns make up the cone-shaped portion of its cranium, which has an appearance similar to a witch's or wizard's hat. Lastly, from a cockpit that mimics a chessboard, where their seats resemble chess pawns, the Rangers control the Titan Megazord. Coming to its arsenal of weapons, the Mystic Titan's Titan Saber, which was created from various weapons and components, is its primary weapon, and has a variety of attacks including combination strikes with a spell called the Mystic Spell Seal. This Megazord is also able to fly thanks to the wings of the Mystic Garuda form of the Yellow Ranger. Jungle Pride Megazord. The tiger, jaguar, and cheetah animal spirits combine to form the Jungle Pride Megazord, which is made up of all 3 of the major jungle beasts. The cheetah and jaguar serve as its legs, and the tiger serves as both its top and lower body. The Jungle Setsuken, a huge whip-like weapon, is made out of the tails of the 3 major jungle beasts. The Jungle Pride Megazord can deal with a variety of hand-to-hand fighting situations, and is quite fast on its feet. It doesn't have any explosive weapons, but instead uses spin attacks on the upper or lower torso of its enemies as finishes. The Jungle Pride Megazord compensates for its absence of any ranged attacks with outstanding agility and hand-to-hand fighting skills. The coordinated actions of the Rangers inside the Zords are integral to the Jungle Pride Megazord's primary way of attack, as seen in all of its depictions. As can be noticed when they get attacked and struck down, each Ranger is linked to each of their spirit's physical manifestations as well to the Megazord as a whole. This, when used right, is an advantage, but can also quickly end up becoming a liability. The Savage Spin is the main finisher to the Jungle Pride Megazord. This move entails energizing its hands with golden energy, continuously spinning its body 360 degrees and charging at the enemy. When sufficiently near, it would repeatedly smack the adversary across the face with its charged fists, turning them to stone and causing them to finally explode. Interestingly, this Megazord can also combine with the other animal spirits to form even more Megazord combinations, such as merging with the wolf spirit, the lion spirit, and even the elephant spirit. High Octane Megazord. The red, blue, and yellow Ranger operated Zord attack vehicles combine to create the High Octane Megazord. The High Octane Megazord can fold up one or both of its limbs to make room for additional Zord attack vehicles as added weaponry. It has a Super Saber fold-out blade in one of its legs, lateral controls, targeting, and guidance systems, a removable shield on its back with front deflectors, a vector scope, and other equipment which gives it an edge in battle. Its finishing maneuver, simply referred to as full power, involves sprinting toward an opponent while brandishing its main weapon, the Super Saber, almost simulating the Turbo Megazord's finishing maneuver. It further stands at a tall height of almost 52 meters and looks incredibly imposing with its yellow, red, and blue color scheme. This Megazord was first seen in the episode titled Fade to Black from Power Rangers RPM, and most notably is one of the only 2 Megazords that were not deleted by the Vengix virus. Drive Max Megazord. The Overdrive Ranger's first and main Megazord is called the Drive Max Megazord. The Dozer Driver, Gyro Driver, Speed Driver, Dump Driver, and Speed Driver all contribute to its formation. The Drive Max Megazord and the Ranger's individual Zords are under the control of their respective control drivers. In the Operation Overdrive episode, Kick into Overdrive, this Megazord made its debut. In this episode, when Moltor released a giant sea creature which resembled a Brontosaurus, Andrew Hartford called on the Drive Max Zords to help the Rangers fight it. With the Zords in their corner, they merged them to create the Drive Max Megazord, which they used in conjunction with the Drive Max Saber to defeat the giant sea creature. When Moltor turned on the Megazord self-destruct system, the Brontosaurus monster tried to annihilate the Megazord by taking it down with itself. Ultimately, the Megazord was able to drive the monster back before making it explode by kicking it with its power kick. Further, notably, Furious once seized the sword and used his enormous power to toss the Megazord, which led it to plummet to the ground, severely damaging it in the process. Quick trivia: the first Megazord with a submarine as a part is none other than this one. The Drive Max Megazord's signature move is the power kick, in which it can use its pistons to charge up its legs and kick the opponent with all of its force, often making them explode. The Drive Max Pickaxe, Drive Digger Shovel, and Drive Saber are some of the weapons it can use in combat. Last but not least, he was also capable of using the Excelsior Blade. Legendary Megazord. The main Megazord of the Mega Rangers in Super Mega Force mode is the Legendary Megazord, a Megazord with a pirate theme, created from the Super Megazords, which include the Super Mega Subzord, the Super Mega Wheeler Zord, the Super Mega Racer Zord, the Super Mega Skyship Zord, and the Super Mega Jet Zord. This Megazord is incredibly quick and agile and has strong powers. The Megazord's limbs can open up to show empty compartments, which are opened by a wheel with a gear-like shape on the rear. The Super Mega Cannon would typically be located here, along with cannonballs for the limbs and legs. The Super Mega Starburst, which uses the previously mentioned cannon to continuously discharge at its target, is the Megazord's Super Mega Final Strike. Further, a single devastating release of concentrated energy can also be fired from the cannon when it's charged up into the ultimate Super Mega Cannon. The Megazord's real strength, as its name suggests, rests in how the Rangers employ the other Ranger keys. Once they've mastered the abilities of their respective teams, they can use their Ranger keys to unlock new abilities and legendary Megazord Zords, giving them an advantage in both strength and versatility. The legendary Megazord can also be unlocked by former Rangers using the Zords and powers of their various teams. In anticipation of a threat that surpassed what the Rangers could manage alone, Gosei developed the legendary Morphers and the legendary Ranger keys. It was around this time that the legendary Megazord was created. Gosei provided the Rangers with their new Morphers when the Armada arrived, and after their first general grew to enormous size, Gosei informed the Rangers of these new Zords, which they used to their tremendous advantage. Samurai Megazord. The Samurai Megazord in Power Rangers Samurai can be created by combining the 5 folding Zords of the Samurai Rangers. The Rangers control the folding Zords by writing the kanji for Super, and these Zords take design inspiration from Japanese origami. It's by writing the kanji for Unite that the Rangers can merge the Zords into the Samurai Megazord. For defense purposes, the Megazord can conjure a sword and a shield that resemble their samurai discs. True to its name, the Megazord also has the appearance of an ancient samurai warrior. Before Jaden decided to use a combined form, the Rangers initially engaged in combat using their separate Zords. Each Zord has a cockpit with its own control panel, but when the Rangers are in Megazord shape, all 5 core Rangers are in the same cockpit. Interestingly, the Samurai Megazord can operate without its helmet, despite rarely being seen. In Super Mega mode, a Ranger can summon all the folding Zords required for the Samurai Megazord without the assistance of the other Rangers. Scorpionic, Rofer, Double Tone, Rhinoceros, and Master Xandrid were among the notable targets and victims of this gigantic Megazord. In the fight against Master Xandrid, the Gigazord was summoned, but the secondary Zords were all destroyed one by one, sparing only the Samurai Megazord. The Samurai Rangers fueled the Megazord Saber with all their symbol power, finally killing Xandrid. However, in an unfortunate turn of events, Xandrid exploded as a result of the fatal strike and took the Megazord with him. Lastly, although the Samurai Megazord is the squad's primary Megazord, they can also combine it with other Zords to create more potent Megazords. Gosei Great Megazord. The Gosei Great Megazord is created when the 5 Mechazords, namely the Gosei Phoenix Megazord, the Gosei Snake Megazord, the Gosei Dragon Megazord, the Gosei Shark Megazord, and the Gosei Tiger Megazord join together. It's the first Megazord used by the Megaforce Rangers in Power Rangers Megaforce. Most notably, the Rangers fight Vrak with this very Megazord. In order to trigger the transformation, the Rangers ready their Gosei Megazord cards, which are then activated when their Megazords are called to action by the Rangers. Once inside the cockpits of the Zord, Megazords, the Rangers secure their morphers to the dashboards. Then, using the same teleportation technology Gosei employs for transportation, the Rangers teleport together to a more central control cockpit. It has the ability to control and fire its Zord component heads like missiles to perform its Mega Punch and Mega Kick, as well as a multi-Zord attack. To perform the Mega Strike slash move, the Gosei Great Megazord is also equipped with a sizable sword. The Mega Ranger's combat arsenal has always included the Gosei Great Megazord. However, it wasn't used for a long time. In fact, until they ran into UFO, they didn't even use their Megazords. They'd used Megaforce Blaster's Victory Charge to beat UFO, but when Vrak Zombat showed up, he grew bigger. Gosei instructed the other Rangers to summon their Megazords for combat, while using his ability to separate into saucer sections. This is when the Megazord was first formed. Ninja Steel Megazord. The Ninja primary Megazord was the Ninja Steel Megazord. One of the Power Rangers spun their Zord stars in the Ninja Star blade, triggering the formation of the Ninja Steel Megazord. The Zords would run once the formation started, and the Robo Red Zord would then mount the Dragonzord, which would fold out its bottom half into a fist after ejecting its wings and tail. When the Dragonzord landed on the Nitrozord, the front of the Zord would fly off and transform into a fist. The Zoom Zord's rear would fold in to become legs, and the Kodiak Zord would merge into the Nitrozord. The Nitro and Dragonzord arms would merge with the Nitrozord's body before they all fused to create the body, causing it to stand up at that point. The Robo Red Zord would then move into the Nitrozord's body, which served as the pilot position, with the enormous Robo Red Zord star serving as the head. The Robo Red Zord served as the Ninja Steel's Megazord's control device, and it was equipped with the Dragon Sword and the Dragon Shield. The Robo Red Zord could also be launched at the adversary to either drive through them or ram through them to knock them off balance. The Megazord's finishing move was the Master Slice, in which it charged the Dragon Sword with yellow energy before unleashing a triple energy slice on the foe. The story of the first time this Megazord was formed is quite interesting. When Spinferno was defeated by the Element Stars and the Galaxy Warriors crowd decided not to enlarge him, which led the Cosmo to unleash the first Skull Gator. The Robo Red Zord and the Dragon Zord's Fire Breath were ineffective against the villain until Calvin used the Nitro Zord's Boulder Launch to overwhelm it. Even stabbing it in the snout didn't work, so they decided to combine forces for the first time to form the Ninja Steel Megazord. With it, the Skull Gator was totally outmatched, and they used the Master Slash to finish him off.
Final strike!
Dino Charge Megazord. The primary Dino Charge Rangers control and form the Dino Charge Megazord. The T-Rex Zord serves as the centerpiece, and numerous other Zords serve as the arms. The Tri-Stego formation, in which the Stegozord serves as the right arm and the Tricerazord serves as the left arm, is its original or default configuration. One of its special attacks is the Flamethrower, which releases a jet of flame when the Dino Blaze Charger is activated from the T-Rex Zord's head. It can also use Tricerazord Power Drill and Stego Slash as special arsenals. There are two distinct finishes that the Dino Charge Megazord has in the formation. One formation charges up the T-Rex Zord's head with energy, before launching an energy construct of it to clamp down on the enemy with deadly effects. This is the first but least frequently used attack. The Stego Saber Final Slash is the second and most popular closing maneuver, in which the Stego Shield is changed into the Stego Saber and then drawn in the form of a full moon. Then, as the Megazord approached its enemy, it was skid forward, hacking into the monster and dispatching it instantly. In the episode The Tooth Hurts, Cavity was the first to be killed using this Megazord. Its other formations included the Pararaptor formation, the Ankylopaki formation, and the Triankylo formation.
Bull Rider Megazord, ready!
Bull Rider Megazord. Coming to our last entry in this list, we have the Bull Rider Megazord. The Ninja Steel Gold Ranger's primary Megazord was the Bull Rider Megazord. It looked like a sheriff from the Wild West. It was a hybrid of his two personal Zords, the Ninja Bull Zord and the Robo Rider Zord. Levi spins the Bull Rider Zord star in his Rockstorm guitar to create the Bull Rider Megazord. The Robo Rider Zord emerges from the Ninja Bull Zord as its top and bottom pieces separate, the front wheels becoming the shoulders and the back wheels the legs. The Robo Rider Zord then combines with the top portion of the Ninja Bull Zord once more to connect to the upright robot's chest. The mask covering its face and the enormous Bull Rider Zord star positioned on the Robo Rider Zord's head complete the transformation. The Bull Rifle, a huge shotgun with the ability to quickly discharge bullets at targets at a distance, as well as having a short bayonet blade that could be charged up with yellow energy to execute the destructive Bull Rider Slash, was the primary weapon of the Bull Rider Megazord. The Rodeo Rapid Fire was used as its finisher, loading up its shot by using the Bull Rifle's bayonet blade as a pump-action grip before unleashing a barrage of shots that pierced the monster's torso to completely destroy it. This Megazord definitely packed one heck of a punch. That brings us to the end of our mega list of Megazords. The transformations and final looks of these Megazords were always something that the viewers looked forward to, and their spectacular finishing moves were simply a cherry on top. Which of these Megazords transformations is your favorite? Tell us in the comment section below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.